Most people think a Mercedes is just an expensive way to tell the world you made it. And honestly, at level 1, they are not entirely wrong. Mercedes-Benz is the oldest car company on the planet, and over 140 years, it has done something almost no other brand has managed. It has turned a simple three-pointed star into a universal symbol that means money, status, and arrival. That is the whole business. Underneath is genuinely excellent, but the star is what people are actually buying. Here is the part nobody tells you. The difference between a $48,000 entry sedan and a $2.5 million hypercar has almost nothing to do with the badge on the hood. They share the same star, sometimes the same switches, occasionally the same engine. What separates them is which division of the company built them and what kind of person ends up in the driver's seat. These are the 7 levels of Mercedes-Benz. By the end of this, you will know exactly which level is worth your money, and which one is charging you for a badge and a stereotype you do not actually need. Level 1. The entry badge. This is where Mercedes plants its flag for people who want the star, but do not yet have flagship money. The car is the CLA, and for 2026, it has gone fully electric, starting at around $48,500. The entry version produces 268 horsepower, sends it to the rear wheels, and on a good day, returns up to 374 miles of range. It looks like a baby 4-door coupe. It has the swooping roofline. It has the Burmester speakers, and from the outside, nobody can tell it is the cheapest Mercedes you can buy. That is the entire point. The CLA exists to get a younger buyer into a Mercedes showroom who would otherwise be at an Audi or a BMW dealer. Here is the catch. The back seat is tight, the trunk opening is small, and the running joke about this car has followed it for a decade. It is the Mercedes you lease at 25 to look like you are doing better than you actually are. It is the valet line flex, the badge that says first apartment, not first mansion. None of that is an insult. The CLA is a genuinely good car. Just understand what you are buying. You are buying the star at the lowest possible entry fee and the right to say you drive a Mercedes. For a lot of people, at this stage of life, that trade is worth every dollar. Level 2, Core Luxury. This is where Mercedes starts to actually earn the badge instead of just selling it. The car is the C-Class, the spiritual heart of the brand, starting at roughly $50,000 for the C300. Under the hood sits a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 255 horsepower, paired with a mild hybrid system for smoother low-speed power. The cabin is where your money goes. You get the big curved dashboard, the vertical touchscreen, the ambient lighting that glows in 64 colors, and material quality that genuinely feels a class above the price. The C-Class is the first real taste. It is the car the newly promoted manager buys. The successful real estate agent parks outside the open house. The 30-something who finally feels like they joined the club. It is also the car that gets bought to impress the in-laws, the one that quietly says the down payment on the house can wait 1 more year. There is a specific pride in a first C-Class that no second car ever quite repeats. Here is the catch. At $50,000 before options, the C-Class is more expensive than a BMW 3 Series or an Audi A5, and the 4-cylinder, while smooth, is not going to thrill anyone. But that is not why people buy it. They buy it because it is the smallest, most affordable way to get the full Mercedes flagship experience in miniature. If someone asked me where the brand starts making real sense, this is the level I would point to first. Level 3, the Executive. This is the car that built the Mercedes reputation for the people who do not need to prove anything. The E-Class starts at around $64,000, and it is the quiet professional's default. The E350 runs a turbocharged 4-cylinder with mild hybrid assistance. The E450 steps up to a silky inline 6, making nearly 400 horsepower, and either way, the experience is the same. Effortless, hushed, and so composed at highway speed that the cabin stays library quiet at 80 miles an hour. The E-Class is the car of the doctor, the lawyer, the partner at the firm. In Europe, it is the default airport taxi and the Uber Black that picks you up in Frankfurt. It is understated on purpose. It does not shout because the person driving it has nothing left to prove. You will never see an E-Class owner revving at a stoplight or filming their own car. They bought it to disappear in comfort, and that quiet confidence is the entire personality of the level. Here's the catch. To anyone standing on the sidewalk, an E-Class and a C-Class look almost identical, which means you are paying $15,000 more for space and refinement that strangers will never notice. But the people who buy an E-Class are not buying it for strangers. They are buying it for the 200 miles of motorway they drive every week. And on that metric, the E-Class is one of the best cars money can buy at any price. This is the safest, smartest bet in the entire lineup. Level 4, the flagship. This is where Mercedes stops competing on value and starts competing on power, technology, and the simple fact that you have arrived. The S-Class starts at around $118,000, and it has been the benchmark luxury sedan on Earth for over 50 years. The S500 uses a turbocharged inline 6 with mild hybrid, making 429 horsepower, and the S580 steps up to a twin-turbo V8 with over 500. But the engine is not the point. The point is everything else. Rear seats that recline, heat, cool, and massage. Rear axle steering that lets a car this long park like something a size smaller. A cabin so isolated from the road that the outside world simply ceases to exist. Here is the thing you need to understand about the S-Class. The person who buys it is often not the person who drives it. This is the car you sit in the back of. It is the chief executive's car, the diplomat's car, the old money car that signals power precisely because it does not need to be loud about it. The S-Class is Mercedes saying, "We will put our newest technology here first, and everyone else can have it in 3 years." If you are buying a Mercedes to be driven, this is the only level that matters. Level 5, the performance division. This is where Mercedes hands the keys to AMG, the team in a Falterbach that takes a normal Mercedes and turns it into something that makes children point and grown men lose their licenses. The lineup here ranges from the C63 at around $85,000 all the way up to the 4-door AMG GT63 at nearly $190,000. The numbers are absurd. The modern C63 uses a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, bolted to a Formula One derived hybrid system to produce a frankly ridiculous 671 horsepower. The AMG GT63 runs a hand-built twin-turbo V8, making well over 570. These cars launch, they crackle, they pop on the overrun, and they announce their presence from 2 streets away. The data on this channel shows that over 80% of you watching right now are not subscribed. That means the algorithm has no reason to show you the next video, even though you have made it this far and clearly care about knowing what you are actually paying for. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Now, here is the catch with AMG. This is the midlife crisis level. The exhaust is loud because the owner wants you to hear them coming. The car is fast in a way almost no owner will ever legally use. And the moment Mercedes replaced the old screaming V8 in the C63 with a Turbo 4, the internet declared war. But strip away the noise and the controversy, and an AMG is a genuine engineering monster. You are paying for the loudest, most attention-seeking way to own a Mercedes. Just be honest with yourself about whether you are buying the performance or the sound of people looking at you. Level 6. The status icon. This is the single most stereotyped vehicle Mercedes builds, and arguably the most stereotyped luxury vehicle on Earth. The G-Class, the G-Wagon, starts at around $155,000 for the G550 and climbs to nearly $200,000 for the AMG G63. It was born over 50 years ago as a military vehicle, which is why it still looks like a refrigerator with headlights. The G550 now uses a turbocharged inline-6 with mild hybrid, making around 443 horsepower, and the AMG G63 packs a twin-turbo V8 with 577. It has 3 locking differentials. It can climb a mountain. Here is the joke that writes itself. Almost none of them ever will. The G-Wagon is the official vehicle of the influencer, the reality television cast member, the rapper, and the Beverly Hills School Run. It is a genuine off-road legend that spends its entire life valet parked outside restaurants. Ask any G-Wagon owner where the lowest gear ratio engages, and watch the silence. The interior is beautiful. The doors close with a bank vault thunk that people film for fun. And it holds its value better than almost anything in the lineup because demand never cools. So is it worth it? As an off-road machine, you are wildly overpaying. As a rolling status symbol that says you made it, and you do not care who knows, nothing on the road does it more effectively. The G-Wagon is not a car you buy, it is a statement you park. Level 7. The Collector and the Halo. This is where Mercedes stops being a car company and starts being a jeweler and an engineering laboratory at the same time. Two worlds live up here. First, Maybach, the ultra-luxury sub-brand. A Maybach S680 runs a hand-assembled 6-liter V12, making over 600 horsepower, and starts north of $230,000. But again, the engine is not the point. The point is the back seat, the executive rear console, the champagne flutes, the partition between you and the chauffeur. Maybach is the car of oligarchs, royalty, and people who have never once pumped their own gas. Then there is the Halo, AMG 1. This is a road-legal Formula 1 car. It uses an actual 1.6-liter turbo hybrid V6 derived directly from the Grand Prix engine, revving past 11,000 revolutions per minute, producing over 1,000 horsepower from 4 electric motors and that screaming V6. Only around 275 were ever built. The price was roughly $2.5 million, and it set the production car lap record at the Nürburgring. The AMG 1 was a project so difficult that it took Mercedes years longer than promised to make a Formula 1 engine survive everyday traffic. It is, by almost every measure, the most extreme road car the company has ever attempted. And it exists to prove one thing. When Mercedes decides to build something with zero compromise and an unlimited budget, it can put a literal Formula 1 powertrain in your garage. This level is not about value. It is proof of what the star can do when money is no object. So, where is the sweet spot? For real people spending real money, levels 2 and 3 are where Mercedes-Benz makes the most sense. The C-Class at level 2 is the smartest entry point into the genuine experience. The E-Class at level 3 is the safest bet anyone can make, full stop. It is the car that does everything well and asks for nothing in return. Above that, you are paying for very specific things. The S-Class buys you the back seat and the technology. AMG buys you noise and ego. The G-Wagon buys you an image. And the Collector level buys you a story. None of that is wrong, as long as you are honest about which one you are actually paying for. Mercedes-Benz built its empire on one simple idea. The three-pointed star is a promise that you have arrived. That promise is real, and it runs through every single level, from the $48,000 entry sedan all the way up to the $2.5 million hypercar. The only question that matters is whether you are buying the car, or whether you are buying the stereotype that comes attached to it. Figure that out, and you will know exactly which level deserves your money. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next one.